Hello and welcome to Cut and Uncut with Daphne and Bonnie Violet. My name is Daphne and I am cut.
And I'm Bonnie Violet, and I'm Uncut. Here we talk about all things trans.
And then some.
In this episode, we'll be reacting to REN Chapter 8, a busking video with Sam Tompkins and REN, and then a REN solo cover of Heart-Shaped Box. Heart-Shaped Box. There we go.
Times fast.
Heart-Shaped Box.
We'd like to give a big shout out and a sincere thank you to our Patreon members, Skylar Bean, who is in our trade tier, and our free members, Mr. Jacob Blankenship, Elizabeth, Danielle Loyal, Bertha D, Carrie Beardsley, and Eclectic Fandom. Hugs and kisses. And
Yep. Be sure to watch us on YouTube, join us on the Patreon, follow us on TikTok, and get your merch. And right on cue, Electric Fandom is saying hello.
Hey, boo! How you doing?
Mostly Eclectic.
Electric Fandom. All of that.
Too many things happen at once. I'm like, I don't know what came out of my mouth. How you doing, love?
Well, Bonnie, it's been a great weekend. I was telling you that I've had some new experiences. I learned to find confidence in myself and drive on the expressway. I let the anxiety out the window on my way.
Look out, world.
I know. And then I was explaining that I did some emceeing this weekend. So I have this hidden potential, y'all, that I didn't even know. So if y'all want me to do y'all shows and want me to MC, let me know. I know Bonnie, she's a pro at this, but I need to get out there and do some things too, y'all.
Right. Well, congratulations. It's always fun to find a new
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. And what about yourself, Fran?
I'm good, preparing for that burlesque show I mentioned and stuff like that. But for the most part, just same old. You
know. Who's getting ready for Gen Con soon? What's Gen Con?
Gen Con, Eclectic Fandom. Gen.
Is that like Gen X Con? Like where all the Gen Xers get together in one room?
It's supposed to be REN Con.
Oh, REN Con?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is there such a thing?
I don't know.
We need more Eclectic. Give us more.
Right? I'm sure that they will.
So what are you drinking? What's in your cup tonight, Bonnie?
I made sun tea. So it's like
how do you make sun tea?
It's in the sun. So you put some tea bags in a jar full of water and you put it out on the porch.
Oh, a little tea bagging, huh?
Yeah, so I have it on the balcony because I live in an apartment. And then add a little lemonade on the top and some ice. And it's cute.
That sounds amazing.
Yes, and Eclectic got back to us. Gaming convention in Indianapolis. All right, sounds fun.
Sounds like fun. Are there going to be is that kind of like Comic-Con or is it just like video games?
But it's
interesting. We'd love to hear more about that. Put some links in there for everyone else that's curious too, Eclectic. That'd be great.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it's like all the cons are like that. It just focused on one thing.
Except for the ones that are in prison, Bonnie.
Oh, you've got some jokes today.
I know. And everybody, I just want to put it out there. Bonnie has been very salty today. She's been letting me have it for free. We was about to fight before we got on camera because she was saying some sassy stuff. And I was like,
do we need to go?
You know how to fight, girl. I don't want it. I don't want none of it, Bonnie. You can keep it, Mama. I don't want it. I don't want none. I don't want no smoke.
It's tabletop games.
Oh, like board games, like chess and like checkers.
I would think like, and maybe I don't know, but more board games I would assume. But
I'm thinking tabletop, like what is that? Ping pong.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's like board game.
Like the hockey game that guys play.
But I'm assuming there's like more role play kind of stuff, or I mean, I don't know. There's
Oh, you mean like, oh, I used to love those. I think I went to one of those where they had like the cards. You play with the cards, and then
So and then it's battles and things
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We love that eclectic. Please share more info, some pictures and stuff with us if you can. We'd love to be invested in that. All right, Bonnie, enough chit chat with small talk. Who we working with tonight? What's going on? Talk to me, sister.
So this is REN chapter 8. So this is the final chapter of the RENs.
Oh, wow. This was a journey, right? We were happy. We were sad. We were rags to riches. Are we still rags to riches?
Yes. So role-playing games, card games, and board games.
Ooh, nice. Do they play spades? Eclectic fandom.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure some people do. All right, here we go.
I was sat in a cafe across from a strange French man in a suit. I had to decide over a 5-minute drink if this was the man that I was going to live with for the next year of my life. A week before, I'd been sat in the same cafe with a Polish man. My friend Luke had put me in touch. Me and my girl...
What was that all about?
It was an interesting intro, huh?
Was that an intro, or was that 2 videos playing at the same time?
No, that was the intro.
Oh, that was nice. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, all right, here we go.
Girlfriend had decided to move into... My friend Luke had put me in touch. Me and my girlfriend had decided to move into separate houses in hopes it would fix our crumbling relationship. The guy seemed pretty chill online, and so I'd already agreed to move in with him. This was just a little informal meet before we did. A few minutes in, I instantly regretted everything. He told me a story of how the week before he'd come home drunk, and he'd pissed all over his own living room, and was in hysterics about it. I laughed nervously, taking a sip of water.
I was like, thank you for
telling me. We need to pause on that one.
Right? I'm glad that, I would be like, thank you, I dodged that bullet.
But also, sweetie, he needs a Alcoholics Anonymous card. Let's just put that out there.
Right.
Somebody needs to give them their AA card.
There might be a little bit of that going on.
Right.
Have you had I've had some pretty wild, like, meeting with new roommate situations.
Some things I prefer to keep in the environment.
Yeah, it can be quite the doozy, especially like San Francisco. It's such a process to get roommates. But huh?
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it's like almost like a competition. It's almost treated like an open house, and you want to bring gifts, and like it's quite the process because housing is hard to get, and living with one another, and like I don't know. It's a big deal.
If you can nail an apartment, you're like royalty over there.
No, well, I lived in a house with 5 other people.
I think I was trying to show you a show that I was really interested in, and the person that the movie was about had audition or interview for this room, the space in the apartment, and it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's what you have to do in San Francisco.
The song, what's that, Bonnie?
The song at the start was "Turn the Lights Down" by Romaine Oxisa, which is the person who was in the Big Push. You know, like in some of the earlier videos that we watched, there was like the 3 people, and he was like the cute one that I think spoke French.
Yeah.
And then Deanna says, "Hey, I'm here. I'm back in the hospital with more issues with my kidneys.
Oh.
I'm having different tests done, so I don't know how long I'll be here on the live." Oh, well, it's great to hear from you. I hope things get better. That's the worst.
Yeah, Anna, keep fighting the good fight, girl. You know we're here for you. We praying for you.
And William says, "Morning all, coffee break and yard work and cleaning the cockatoo cage."
Yeah. Hi, William. Thank you. That was very kind of you to say to Deanna. We're here for you, Deanna, girl. We praying. We're here. Thank you for keeping us posted. Continue to fight the good fight, girl.
Yes. Know that we're with you. All right, here we go.
And was in hysterics about it. I laughed nervously, taking a sip of water as I imagined a future of watching Netflix shows near a carpet that stank of piss. He then went on to tell me a story of how this girl that he'd liked had rejected his advances. So he'd, in his own words, grabbed her by the pussy and she slapped him. He wasn't sure if it was going to work out between them. I was certain it wasn't going to work out.
Was he interviewing with Donald Trump? The only time I ever heard that.
Was the roommate Donald Trump?
Wow.
I can see that happening, but don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. I'm just kidding. Don't.
Right? All right, let's get back to that. I think I rewinded a little bit. Sorry.
Making up a lie that me and my girlfriend had patched things up and she'd be moving with me instead. I had a week to find a new roommate.
I think
You went way back, sister.
Did I go back or forward?
Because he was talking about Luca in the beginning. Okay, that's too far.
No, see, I think I went forward and not back. Oh, Lord.
He wasn't sure if it was going to work out between them. I was certain it wasn't going to work out between them. I didn't laugh this time. I made an excuse and I left. When I got home, I messaged him, making up a lie that me and my girlfriend had patched things up and she'd be moving with me instead. I had a week to find a new roommate. I was, for all intents and purposes, a loud little bugger. I'd often spend unhealthy amounts of time making beats, so the person that I moved in with needed to be able to tolerate noise. I found this Facebook group called Brighton Bands and Musicians and I posted on it. It went something like this. Hi, I'm a noisy person and I'm looking for another noisy person to live with. Enter the Frenchman. He'd moved from France in hopes of kick-starting his music career. He was working in the restaurant and busking on the streets whenever he had time. He was, for the better part of the word, eccentric, and at first I couldn't quite place him. The bar was set extremely low by the carpet-pissing sex offender though, so the Frenchman could have probably told me he was part of an extreme terrorist organisation and I'd probably said, "Great mate, when can you move in?" The house was only meant for two, but in true cheapskate style we found a third housemate called Tom, who was probably one of the funniest people I've ever met. Tom would go on hour-long rants about how Nicolas Cage is the world's best actor.
I said, put the bunny back in the box.
And he makes a compelling case too. That Frenchman was Romain Caesar. We'd go on to form a band called The Big Push, and he'd become one of my closest friends. The second week we moved in together, it was his birthday, so me and Tom decided to gaffer tape about 50 baguettes and bunches of garlics to the walls and the ceilings to decorate. It was 2016 and political correctness hadn't come into full effect. He still didn't think it was very funny. My energy was only improving during this time, although progress was slow. The doctor had recommended I do a second transplant to speed things up. I returned to LA for the second time with my close friend Saran and went through the motions again. Eventually, I'd switched to their sister clinic in Frankfurt, where I entered one of the more unusual periods of my life. The UK has border regulations on certain medications and supplements. Some I shouldn't have been taking back with me. I remember fashioning a hidden compartment in my suitcase where I would smuggle IV bags full of various nutrients and immune modulating drugs over the border. I did this a few times. One drug, Filgrastim, was often given to AIDS or cancer patients with low neutrophil counts. On my tests, my neutrophils were always outside of range on the lower side, so the injections would theoretically raise them. The issue was I was still broke. I don't think the doctor realised how broke. I was meant to pay for private nurse to administer the drips, but I couldn't afford it. So without telling the doctor, I taught myself how to administer an IV watching YouTube tutorial videos. First, it was very messy. I messed up a lot of veins trying to get the catheter to stay in. There was a lot of blood, but eventually I got the hang of it. I'd be sitting in the living room watching One Punch Man while an IV bag dripped slowly into my veins, and day by day I got stronger and stronger. The issue was I started noticing my food intolerances getting worse. The stem cells had improved my pain, energy, clarity of thought, but it worsened my ability to tolerate food, something I later learned was caused by MCAS or mast cell activation syndrome. Some other stories also started circulating online groups of people getting far worse after the stem cell transplant. I can't say that this didn't shake me. As more time elapsed, I learned of legal cases that were opened against the clinic for malpractice. The clinic in Beverly Hills eventually shut its doors. It was hard to know how to feel about this. The doctor had been my saving grace. He'd pulled me out of a half existence, but I could see where people's frustrations were coming from. As the clinic grew in popularity, I think its resources became stretched and its communication became worse. Nonetheless, that man will always remain the third angel in my tale, and I'll always be grateful. It's hard for me to definitively recommend stem cells. I believe it's a gamble. Some got worse, but they did actually really help me. They didn't cure me, and some of my symptoms got worse, but they allowed me to be an active member of society again, and that was huge for me. A few more months passed. My girlfriend had moved to Australia, but she was being very distant with me and rarely answering calls. She broke up with me on Christmas Day while I was visiting my mum. I took it very badly, but it was also symbolically the end of one chapter and the start of the next. Despite our difficulties, I'm still grateful for the time we shared. There's always two sides to every story, and I don't imagine it was easy being with someone who was tormented by my health problems as I was during the time. I returned back to Brighton, and then I started living, for the first time in years, really living. Me, Romain and Tom would throw parties nearly every night. I didn't drink or do drugs, but I was high on being able to participate. I felt like I was living in Brighton for the first time in my life. I was able to walk around, to take in the city, to live. I also started getting the attention of women. During my teen years, I wasn't the best looking and I was a bit awkward. During my early 20s, I was so sick I rarely went out. So,
Do you hear that? Can you believe people thought he was attractive, Daphne?
Who?
REN.
How dare they? Do they see the mug on that kid?
Right?
He is drop dead gorgeous.
I know you have a touch on him. I actually, for folks who stay on, actually the final video that I picked for tonight, I picked just for you because of that. So it's
Because he's hot.
it's dessert.
Ooh, I love dessert.
Since there's no chinchilla for dessert. Tracy says, I can't imagine him not being good looking. He's so fine. Hot. LOL. Yes.
Come on, Tanya Queen. You already know the tea, girl.
Yeah, Daphne has a little thing for him. I think, well, and I liked Romain, so I'm excited to see he's back in the story again. Here we go.
but this was new for me, and I threw myself in head first. I realised that I really like pretty girls, and pretty girls apparently like boys who make music. A lot of nights I'd go out by myself around Brighton and end up meeting a whole bunch of beautiful women. One night I ended up breaking into the Hilton Hotel with a girl that I just met. We managed to get onto the roof, but we were chased down the flights of stairs by security. We ended up having sex on the beach at 2 a.m. while the tide came in.
Oh.
The parties we throw would get crazier and crazier. There'd be times where everyone was half naked by the end of the night. I'd find myself in strange situations where I was having sex on a living room sofa with two girls while some random dude sat smoking a joint on a nearby table.
Whoa, pause.
What?
Did Lover Boy, because that's what he's becoming right now, did Lover Boy just say he had sex with two girls at the same time? Could you rewind that part for me?
Well, I didn't hear that, but I thought it was. I was playing Have I Ever the other night at like a sober thing.
Aren't you like 90, Bonnie, and you playing Never Have I Ever? What haven't you done, sweetie?
Ooh, I want to say words. I want to say words that I should not say on here. All right, since you couldn't hear or weren't paying attention, we're gonna go back.
Okay. See, I told y'all she was salty today.
While the tide came in. The parties we throw would get crazier and crazier. There'd be times where everyone was half naked by the end of the night. I'd find myself in strange situations where I was having sex on a living room sofa with two girls while some random dude sat smoking a joint on a nearby table.
To be a fly on the wall, child.
I noticed this guy who was a friend of Romain's who kept passing out on our sofa. One time he woke up covered in scratches from this Mexican girl who had been telling us stories the night before of all the people she'd stabbed. This guy was Goran Kendall. He sang like Bob Dylan and he looked like he'd fallen out of a punk rock band.
He's the other person who's on the big push.
Who got his scratched back?
What's that?
Scratched by the Mexican girl.
I know, I'm like, dang. This is quite the... He should have started out with some of this stuff in some of the first chapters, right? All right, here we go.
Who had been telling us stories the night before of all the people she'd stabbed. This guy was Goran Kendall. He sang like Bob Dylan and he looked like he'd fallen out of a punk rock band. I liked him. Me, Romain and Goran were all musicians and naturally we started jamming together. I remember the first time something clicked. We were at Goran's house with an Australian girl I'd been seeing and her friends. The night before she'd gotten drunk and tried to strip me naked during an open mic night at the Fiddler's Elbow. I was pretty willing and we both ended up in our underwear being kicked out in fits of laughter. We decided to start working out 3-part harmonies together. We figured out a cover of Octopus's Garden by the Beatles. And not to blow our own horns, but it sounded fucking brilliant. I remember someone walking past the house and hearing from outside, and they started to clap. Eventually the three of us would busk on the streets together. We all busked separately, so it made sense. Back then, I'd occasionally drag a kick and a snare drum out with me in a wheelbarrow, and I'd drum while Goran and Romain played and sang. We would always have people come up to us and they'd ask for our band name, and we never had an answer. We came up with this genius idea of forming a band.
Genius.
One of us said that we should be called the Three Hats because there were three of us and sometimes we wore hats. One of us said, nah, that's shit.
I would say that the editing has gotten better, at least. It's a little wild, like, but it's better because before is like the editing was like weird shit. So it's making sense more so. You're like, bitch, I don't care.
Well, I mean,
Eventually we settled on the big push and we got tighter and tighter. As my energy increased, I was able to do more and more. We play about 5 nights a week in various pubs and bars in Brighton for shit money.
Three hats.
On Saturday, we'd get out onto the streets and go busking. There was just one problem. I was proper shit at drumming. The universe eventually provided us with a handsome bearded Irishman and everything fell into place. I loved those boys. We were in truest sense a rock and roll band. We got banned from playing at a few venues because we'd occasionally get carried away and break a bit too many things on stage. I got a lot of bills for microphone stands or charges for paint jobs where I'd sprawled the big push over.
I didn't know Ren had that in him.
Sounds like Ren was a little man whore back in his younger days.
No judgment. I just am shocked.
The walls in permanent marker pen. Life was a bit like a movie. My ambition at the time wasn't to be in the greatest band of all time or to have any kind of success. I was just so relieved to be alive and play. So every day felt like a victory. Despite this, I was still carrying a lot of symptoms with me. The pain in my legs never stopped. The buzzing in my feet never relented. My vision was still blurry. I'd still get days where I was so foggy that it was hard to communicate. One day after a gig with the big push, being overstimulated triggered a very temporary jolt back into psychosis, and I found myself lying on a table in the pub, repeating the same sentence over and over again for about 10 minutes, while surrounded by a very concerned group of onlookers. I came to, in tears, and I quickly left in embarrassment. If I didn't stick to my diet of about 5 different things, I'd be trapped in bed again, but it was okay. I was willing to hurt if it meant I could participate in life again, and I intended to live the fuck out of it. I met this beautiful Spanish girl one night after playing at a local pub, and I fell instantly in love. She had this beautiful blonde curly hair and was wearing dungarees, and I was enamoured with her from the first moment that I saw her, and she didn't make it easy, which made me like her even more. I'd write her poetry, invite her to shows, and attempt to be funny. She knew me as the local slut, which didn't really make things very easy, but with time she could see that I genuinely cared about her, and I did, a lot. One time we snuck into a cinema together, and I proceeded to climb onto what
was that?
I know a man slut when I hear about one.
Hey.
I thought was the stage below the screen to put on a show for her as she sat alone in the aisles cheering. What I didn't know was that stage wasn't a stage, it was a 6-foot drop. I confidently put my feet on thin air and then I fell, smashing my face onto the corner of a railing on the way down, seeing a flash of white light and regaining consciousness with her rolling around in fits of laughter on the floor. She was intelligent, creative, unusual and beautiful. I carried a lot of trauma with me into that relationship. Relationships generally didn't feel safe for me. She was briefly diagnosed with BPD, which later turned out to be a misdiagnosis, and I had major trust issues from my last relationship, which had grown into commitment issues. It was a bit of a recipe for disaster, but we loved each other very intensely and very dysfunctionally until we couldn't. I wish I'd been able to surrender. It was a bit Sid and Nancy, very dramatic to say the least, and I won't get into it for her sake, but it was beautiful, and I loved her very much. It taught me a lot. I learned that the echoes of the past had shaped me into something that I struggled to be. I envied the people who could jump into relationships and feel safe or content. I wondered if it was because I had to watch my mum and dad fighting till their marriage crumbled when I was a kid. If it was because I'd learned as a child that I had to be independent because external love was inconsistent. I wondered if it was because I'd been too late to save Joe. I wondered if it was because I was forced to live most of my adult life in isolation. I wondered if it was to do with my past relationships. I didn't know, but I felt confused and I felt angry with myself. I knew I wanted to surrender to love, to feel truly worthy of it, but every time I tried I feel discontent and unsettled, like the security of love was something I wanted to escape. The thought of ending up in a white picket fence house with my perfect family felt like prison. After 8 long years of being tethered to a body in pain, I wanted to be liberated from any sort of attachment. Any sort of predictability of the future after a life of torturous monotony made my stomach feel like I'd swallowed cinder blocks. When I felt someone's love, I had to fight the urge to run and keep moving, but paradoxically still desperately wanted to be loved. And I loved to love. And I loved her. That discontent was something that stuck with me, and it hasn't made relationships easy. Around 2018, I'd reconnect with Sam. He was in his 20s now, so I felt far less weird about hanging out with a teenage boy. During this time, we wrote a few songs together. Blind Eyed, What Went Wrong, and Same Old Situation. All bangers, by the way. It was April, and we were shooting a video for What Went Wrong. We were using my friend Josh's car, and there was a scene where we needed a smashed up bonnet. But it went outside of the budget we had to pay for the video, so me and Sam decided to go busking to raise the money. I promise what follows is the truth. We never rehearsed Blind Eyed live before, but while we were out on the street, I turned to him and I asked if we should play it. I started playing the first chord that made sense without even thinking. It started in B minor in this kind of reggae way that was totally different to the original recording. Somehow, it was totally fucking magic. The whole street stopped. Sam was hitting notes and runs that seemed outside of the reach of a mere mortal. Luckily, Sam Perry Falvey, who films the videos, was with us, and he captured the whole thing on camera.
And for folks who haven't seen it, we have reacted to that video last week. Let's check it out.
Before this moment, I kind of surrendered to the fact I probably wouldn't have a career in music again. I was doing it for me. I was doing it to celebrate being alive. The week after the video shoot, me and Sam decided to go busking again because it had felt so good. Someone filmed us covering a version of Vera Hall's Trouble So Hard.
Trouble so hard.
And posted it to a Mexican restaurant page on Facebook. It was the first thing that I'd done since returning to the land of the living that went viral, and it went very viral. It started being shared everywhere by millions of people. 2 weeks after that, another cover of us performing was circulating the internet. That went viral too. By the time we released the busking version of Blind Eyed, the internet went crazy. My social media following started exploding. People like Elton John were talking about us on the radio. People would fly in from all over the world just to watch us perform on the street. By the end of summer 2018, we were shutting down entire high streets because of the volume of people coming to watch us perform. There was something magic about the synergy of me and Sam that stopped people in their tracks. We were being tagged in videos from all over the world of people listening to Blind Eyed. People were listening from war zones, from rocket launch sites, from deep in jungles. It was surreal, and it was incredibly affirming. It was a second chance, and I didn't think I'd get a second chance. The shared out with Sam was special. A lot happened after that. More love, more heartbreak, more health complications, more healing, more setbacks, more parties, more medications, sold out shows, frustrations with the music industry, betrayals, theft, friends lost to addiction. My health would take me on more journeys into foreign countries, #1 albums, awards, a pandemic, meeting idols, making money, losing money. But I'll save all that for another time. It's fitting that this story ends here. Trouble So Hard by Vera Hall has always resonated with me very deeply. She was the daughter of a slave, navigating a hostile 1940s America, something I'll never be able to relate to. The pain and simplicity of the line, "Don't nobody know my troubles but God," was one that seemed universal to all struggles. And it was a line I was always deeply connected to. If there is a God, I want to thank you for giving me the resilience to be able to sit down here and to tell my story today. I hope it's far from over, and I hope that this is just chapter 1. Thank you, everybody, for giving me the space to share my story with you. For everybody still in the dark, trust, hope, and dare to dream that you can get out of it too. I love you all, and thank you for supporting me like you have.
Oh, there's not. I think that might be it.
Go through it.
We did it. We did it. We did all 8 chapters, anybody.
Yeah.
Whew. Thank you all for joining us all this time, right, Bonnie?
Yes,
Our
totally.
people was with us through this whole thing.
Yeah, they were. I feel like
Wow. I learned so much through this journey. I remember when we first started, I was like, what is he saying? Not English. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And now I feel like I know him, like he's my boyfriend. No, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. No, it's a nice cap to the end. I think it's, I think a lot of it is more like a lot of like now it's like what we all already know. It's too bad that like all this stuff at the end is kind of like REN together, but it's still kind of a nice way to end it for sure.
I really want him to find happiness. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it sounds like he was saying, there's going to be life, but at least he knows that there's going to be more life.
Yeah,
waiting for the babies to pop up.
Yeah, definitely. And he's like, I was so like recently he's been dealing with some legal stuff with his song Sick Boy. So it's been like there's like some sort of miscommunication with like I don't know, there's some sort of like it's like a thing, but from Sick Boy there was some like a sample that he used and a bot, but then there's some sort of like, I don't know, it's hard to follow. If folks are interested, they could definitely check it out a little bit more, but Sick Boy has been pulled from a lot of the I think from YouTube, and I think it's up on Spotify right now. But you also can watch our reaction if you want to listen to the song there, at least for now. I've been debating about whether or not we should pull it because it could be copyrighted. And if it's copyrighted, it might put a ding on our site, which we wouldn't want to do. But
yeah, Bonnie, we want to be sorry. And I'm not trying to go to jail.
Yeah, and if folks know something more that I don't, then feel free to like let us know in the thingamajigs. But I think there was also some understanding that if it's already done, it's done. But I don't know. So, or like once it hits a certain level, which we're not. Anywho, should we go on to our?
Wait a minute, I'm topping off.
Oh, your beverage.
I'm topping off my beverage, darling.
What did you say? Did you say what you were drinking earlier?
Generic soda. Today. Oh, I was gonna tell you, if we go on to jail, sweetie, I don't look good in stripes. They're gonna have to put me in print.
Oh, we ain't going to jail.
So make sure that we need to take care of the legalities of that.
Yeah. I know. At most, it would be like we would just lose our channel or something.
Okay, talk to me about what we're gonna do next, Bonnie.
Oh, wait, so when we talked earlier today, which one of the things last week we listened to some chinchilla songs, both of which were not eligible to listen to on YouTube. So those were cut. And so the whole live has been pulled. I went ahead and uploaded each of the parts separately, except for the chinchilla songs. I'm thinking maybe I might be able to post those on Patreon. So if people want to go to our Patreon, they can check that out, but it's not something that is up live on YouTube right now. If folks want to check that out, I think that's something we can do for now. I'll look into it a little bit more. And so in talking with you, we're like, let's get back to some REN. And so you said you wanted to hear some busking and with REN. And so there's 2 busking videos that I found. One is, I think, one of the most popular busking videos, which will be the first one, which is with Sam Tompkins. And it's like 3 songs run back to back, which often happens when they do the busking. And so this is with Sam Tompkins, Earned It, Man's World, and Falling.
So this is 4 videos, right, Bonnie?
It's 1 video. It's 3 songs. And I think this is the one here.
She's so vicious.
Oh, shit. You make it look like it's magic, oh baby. 'Cause I see nobody.
Do you know the song?
Yes, and I'm in love with his voice. I don't care who sings it, but I like his voice.
Yes,
Play the video. What are you doing?
Sorry, I was just checking.
Nobody but you.
We can't sing.
You leave me confused. Hey, I'm so used to being you. So I love when you call unexpected. 'Cause I hate when a moment's expected. I'ma care for you. I'ma care for you. Hey, 'cause girl, you're perfect. You're always worth it. And you deserve it. want you. Hey, 'cause girl, you're perfect.
Girl, you're perfect.
You're always worth it.
Always worth it.
And you deserve it.
You deserve it.
The way you're working.
Girl, you
Earn it.
yeah.
Earn it. No.
Who sings?
What a lovely surprise.
Yeah, who sings the original?
The Weeknd, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
I know. I think it's because Weeknd, he's got a beautiful voice as well. But
Mhm.
Mr. Sam did some good. Did some.
That's
He did his thing with the song. So I like it. I'm impressed. I didn't think that would be one of the songs that they did, but that's they got me tongue twisted. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be able to go into man's world really easily.
Okay.
So here we go.
This is a man. This is a man's world.
This is my old like where my dad is. James Brown.
This is a James Brown
I
song?
believe it's a James Brown song.
I feel like I've heard it sung by so many different people. I'm like, don't the original of it.
My parents like this song.
I always love it when women sing it, but like a lot of women have covered this song.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, but I like his version of it too.
Ooh, let's hear it. I mean, so far he's doing amazing.
Here we go.
This is a man's world.
But it wouldn't mean nothing without a woman or a girl. Don't you know the man made a car? Take him over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Don't you know the man made the electric light? Take him out of the door. Hey, what to the father? Just like no one could be out. It's a man's world.
That's like a stadium filled with people.
What's that?
It's like a stadium filled with people to be outside. Like,
Yeah.
if he was charging, girl, he did that for free. Child.
Yeah, I'm sure they're collecting some coin, but
I
yeah.
see people doing donations, but wow.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's quite an audience to get for busking. Like, that's huge.
But it wouldn't mean nothing.
I keep on falling in and out of love with you. Sometimes I love you. Sometimes I feel blue. At times I feel broken. At times I feel used. Loving you, darling, makes me confused.
I love the when they came together like that. It was so good.
They're killing this. This is Alicia Keys.
I was gonna say, was this done before Alicia Keys, or this is Alicia
I
Keys?
think
original?
Alicia Keys made this is her song.
Yeah. All right.
body confused, and I keep on falling in and out of love with you. I never loved someone the way that I love you. I never felt this way. You give me so much pleasure, show me so much pain. I keep on falling in and out of love with you.
What? It's going there.
It's killing the shit out of that guitar.
I know, right?
The guitar screaming for bloody murder.
That's good.
He's like beating the shit. If you could imagine someone having sex with a guitar, this is exactly what it would be.
That's what it would be, huh? It's so good. It's like, it seems like it's almost not good.
What do you mean?
Like it's so good, but it's like almost too much, you know?
He's going for it.
I know, right? So
like
good.
it's off, but it's good. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to. But that's what it was. I think of when I hear it.
Yeah, yeah. What was that? I'm sorry.
It's kind of like we'll talk later, but it's like a guy who's really enjoying himself. And he's just really giving it all. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
All right, here we go.
This is a no. I keep on falling Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So I think I understand completely now when he said that he just started to ad-lib it and to give it that extra, and then it came out like super hot. I think that's what I think he was trying to say in that respect, that they were just, you know, going for it. You know, is that fair to say? What do you think?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, so good. I was kind of.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
I was kind of expecting or kind of hoping that at the end they would bring back in the other two songs somehow.
Yeah. So, and I'm going to get on Deanna, and I'm going to get on Tanya, and I'm going to get on all of the renegades out here Like, why y'all never said to play this one?
I don't know.
My first time ever seeing this, and almost we're like at the end of our whole REN career, and you give me a finale like this. Well worth it. Bravo.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this one suggested at all, and I think it is an older one. Like I said, in looking at this site, I believe this was the most watched busking or most popular busking video, if I recall correctly, which is why I went ahead and went for this one. And then this next one is a newer, like posted video from REN. I believe it, and it wasn't clear to me, and maybe somebody else can tell me, but I think this is like a recent of him busking on the streets. It's, I guess, for some reason I feel like I wouldn't think of him being busking anymore because he would be like busy and, you know, with other things, but it looked like
he ain't live like that no more.
Well, I know that's why, but I also know he enjoys it. So
yeah,
I'd be curious to hear from folks whether or not like he still is busking, or if, you know, or what. So this next one I picked out kind of for you too.
For me and Deanna.
Yeah, for all you who have like a little crush on REN, because he's shirtless in it. So I haven't watched it. I just, like I said, I saw it.
Hold that thought. Just hold that thought, Bonnie.
Deanna said, I forgot about this one. Sorry, you guys. LOL.
Bad Deanna.
Bad Deanna. Jeez.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Bonnie.
Oh, Lord.
This will have to do.
I'm sorry, everybody. I have no idea what's about to happen.
Okay, I'm ready. All right, girl. Drop that beat.
All right, girl. Here we go. Oh, this one is a cover, and it's called Heart-Shaped Box.
Heart-Shaped Box? Okay.
Needing no kids forgive no one just yet. Cut myself on angel hair.
Is a Kurt Cobain song, right?
I'm not sure, Bonnie. What is it? Help us out in the audience.
It's called Heart-Shaped Box.
And I can't see nothing.
Bree makes comments, says, hey, new to you. Hi, Ren doesn't bust much, but I think he bust on Brighton Beach just the other day in prep for a secret garden party. Good to know. And welcome.
Hi, Bree.
Yes, it is Nirvana, which Nirvana was Kurt Cobain, right? Yeah, he was the lead singer of Nirvana.
Okay.
I believe that's right. We're like Courtney Love, you know, all that stuff. Okay. Yes, it is. All right. Sweet. All right. Here we go. Back to Nirvana or REN.
Myself on angel hair and baby breath. You can have it all, your highness.
Any sweats going on?
Black.
We're not
I wish I could eat your cancer when you turn black. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever in debt to your priceless advice. Hey, wait, I got a new complaint. Forever in debt to your priceless advice.
It's such a different song than what he normally does.
Yeah. And where is he? In Brighton Beach with this one?
That sounds about right.
Is that California, right? Brighton Beach?
No, Brighton Beach is in Brighton, in UK.
Oh, I knew that.
Right?
There's a Brighton Beach in New York. I mean,
right? I was trying to look it up to see, but I have the link in the chat or like in the description, but I'll look while we continue listening.
Brighton.
What's that?
Brighton, not Brighton. It's a big difference. The N makes a big difference, I guess.
It's Brighton, yeah.
Okay.
Brighton Beach, yeah.
Okay.
I'm so happy because today I found my friends in my head. I'm so ugly, that's okay, my will is good. Broke arm in Sunday morning is every day for all I care. I'm not scared, light my candles in the days, 'cause I found God. Yeah, 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 or something like that. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. Got some dental floss in there as well, I think. Thanks. I like dental floss.
All right, there. It's a good place to stop for you.
Well. Let's talk to Miss Bry Makes. There we go. He has his first live show coming up on Saturday, a 2-hour special at the Secret Garden Party Festival in the UK. It's going to be amazing. Well, Bree, I'm extremely jealous. But that's not going to stop us from being friends, because you get a little closer to my new boyfriend. But it's a pleasure to meet you, and thank you for joining us tonight. That really means a lot. Thank you.
Yes. And yes, indeed. And like, we're going to do one more week. So I'd be curious to do, and I think we should do REN, but I'd love to hear from folks on what they think we should listen to. Because I was considering some of the newer stuff. There's like Money Game, in which there's 3 parts of Money Game, which is not something that we've watched. There's also like Animal Flow and The Illest of Our Time. Some of the more newer stuff that I don't think we've ever reacted to that folks might like. So I'd love to hear from folks on what they would like for us to listen to, which all of that other REN stuff that I just mentioned, I've seen before. I know I saw them before we started this like reaction thing. So I just want to put that out there to folks. So yeah, Bree says Money Games are very special. I thought that might be a good series because it kind of takes
series.
Well, he's got 3 different songs.
Okay.
It kind of takes me back when we first listened to like High Ren.
Yeah.
Like the Tale of Screech. And
Yes.
So it's definitely like that, but it's more newer.
Okay. Well, Bree says Money Games are very special. So let's utilize that, Bonnie.
Yeah, I think that's a good one to do. So we'll plan on doing that unless there's some sort of like whatever. But
we want to do one for Deanna too. Because we're thinking about you, Deanna. So we want you to pick a song for next Monday, darling.
Yes, and then we're just gonna probably end up taking a break that might be for forever, but probably not.
I don't know if it's gonna be forever because I'm addicted to our audience here, because they're like, we got Bree now. I'm like, Bree, how you gonna pop up like we got like one more show? Mm-hmm. But that's all good. It's tentatively can change. The more we get more reaction with you guys, the more you know, you keep standing by us, the more I feel like this is what we need to be doing.
Yeah. And once I think maybe you're done with school and stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I'll be done with school on the 17th. And then my focus is going to be on trying to get a good job, because these streets aren't, no, I'm just kidding.
These streets. Ooh. Yeah, that's
I'm kidding, Bonnie. I'm kidding.
I'm like, that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole
nother podcast, a whole nother show.
Well, you want you to do our closings, Bonnie? What do you think?
Yeah, I think you should. It looks like there's another comment first. Let me see. Bree says, it's very late, but I'll hit the sub button. For me, it's pronounced Bry, as in short for Brian. All right. Thank you, Brian. Sorry for saying it wrong.
What does sub mean?
Sub is subscribe. They're gonna be a subscriber. I know, you were like, there was somebody in the comments last time that was like, you didn't listen to any of the damn lyrics. Wish I could sub. And remember? Yes. So,
see, when I think of sub, I'm thinking substitution.
oh, I figured you were thinking Dom and sub, but that's a whole nother.
Girl. You see?
Yeah, it's short for subscriber.
It's Brian.
It's Bry.
Bry or okay, Bry.
Bry
okay,
makes
Bry.
comment. Yes.
Okay.
Right. Well, welcome,
Well,
Bry. We're glad that you're here.
Always a pleasure to have you, Bry. So with that said, it's time for our closings, everybody. We're going to channel in good energy this week.
Wow.
We're going to be very positive. We're going to have hope for everything and everyone in this world. We're going to use positive mantras this week. We'd like to thank you all for joining us today. Of course, as you know, as Bonnie and I would say, we love you until you can love yourselves. And I say that. And I will not let Bonnie have it. I'll humble myself and give Bonnie some space this week. Because for some reason, y'all, she's not feeling herself this week. So we're going to pray for Bonnie.
Oh.
And hugs and kisses. That's all we got this week.